Mom, why are you yelling at me?
Grab the Odyssey app from your app store and stream KDAWN anytime, anywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, Las Vegas. What's going on? Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. We bring you the best in pro wrestling. And boy, oh boy, did things change in the world of pro wrestling this week. I mean, wow. We've got so much to talk about with all these new media deals. We got a new NXT champion. We got John Cena getting ready to walk away, and we know who the opponent's going to be. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more here on the Mark Hoke Show. So if you are listening to us on KDAWN, we certainly appreciate it. Go out and get that Odyssey app too. You can listen to us anywhere you want, anytime you want. AUDACY. Pick that app up right now, and I promise you that you will never bust out at craps again. Now, that's not true. I cannot say that, but it'll make your life a little better. Just 220 stations plus a ton of podcasts. Great stuff. So make sure you check that Odyssey app out. We are also live streaming on X at Mark Hoke Show and on YouTube and Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show. So if you want to get in and give your opinion, then I wouldn't see why we wouldn't have a lot of people giving opinions today, because there's a ton of stuff going on. Let's bring in one of my esteemed co-hosts. He'll be here for the first hour from adfreeshows.com, a great network of pro wrestling podcasts. Let's get him in here right now. He is Josh Rosenbaum. Coach Rosey, what's up?
Good morning, Mark Hoke Universe. It's good to see you. Happy Sunday, and wrestling is alive and well in this holiday season.
Holy cow, man. This is nuts. I'm gonna start with first. TNA has finally found a really decent home. They signed a multi-year deal. I believe it's 2 years with AMC, American Movie Classics, even though nobody calls it that anymore. But will be starting broadcasts on AMC on January 15th. Show is going to be Thursday Night Impact from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. And this is a big deal for TNA. They haven't had a deal this good since probably the Spike era. So, Coach, what do you think, man? This is pretty big for TNA. The world now expands for them considerably.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is great for TNA, and it's going to give them the opportunity to have some new eyes put on them. I mean, a lot of people are saying that AMC isn't the proper venue for a wrestling show, but I couldn't disagree with you further. I mean, they're the home of The Walking Dead. I mean, professional wrestling is The Walking Dead with different storylines and so forth. And, the partnership with WWE is going to continue. They're going to have some more revenue in their pocket to hopefully be bringing in some new talent, and people will be able to see the Hardy Boys live on streaming for the world to see. It's going to be a great time for TNA. I'm excited.
Yeah, and there was some confusion about WWE stepping out because apparently there's some sort of 60-day clause in there if TNA gets a media deal. But WWE did say that they're going to continue their partnership with TNA. So, it'll be interesting to see, Coach, how they decide to bring in talent, because you've already got access to a lot of people from WWE with this partnership. Maybe I don't know. I I think it'll make them more competitive. Well, I suppose we'll see. You know, it's a good point about some different talent coming in, but you got a budget now. You got a budget. So this will be fascinating to see how TNA handles this, but I know everybody over there was really excited. So TNA will be on AMC. The other deal that took place, and boy, I'll tell you, this hits probably almost every home in America. This one is nuts. At least for now, Netflix has purchased Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers selling out but there's, and they're going to get the HBO and HBO Max deals into that. And unfortunately, the sheet where I had the amount of the deal, it was around $82 billion or somewhere in there, a ridiculous amount of money. But HBO and Warner Brothers, so all the movie stuff is now in the hands of Netflix. Well, why does this affect pro wrestling? Well, Tony Khan works with Warner Brothers Discovery. So it will at some point affect their streaming deal on HBO Max, but it does not affect the TV. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, AEW is dead because of this. And I'm like, no, you forgot that they split the two companies. Discovery is now its own separate group. They're getting that all finished up and finalized. But that Discovery includes TBS and TNT and all that, those networks of shows or channels. So Tony's TV deal is safe. The interesting part is going to be what happens with this streaming deal. Coach, I'll be honest with you. I'm just going to say this out loud, at least temporarily. I think Tony Khan's a winner in this. I really do. Because unless there's some sort of buyout or whatever to get AEW off HBO Max, now all of a sudden AEW, by the time the third quarter hits and all this shifts, is going to be on Netflix and in the Netflix family. That and they got that deal for 3 years. That's a win to me. That's a win.
Yeah, the twists and turns of our media market is definitely something that's hard to make predictions on, but it definitely looks like a plus for Tony. It can't hurt to be part of the number one conglomerate of streaming in the world. I mean, they'll find the marketing for it because they're only about the bottom line, making money. So to bring in the whole HBO Max experience and all the movies and everything is only going to be able to bring more promotion for AEW, more eyes on the product, and more viewership. Who knows if they get another deal out of this, it's only going to continue to grow AEW. So it can't hurt to be part of the number one, to be in the Don Callis family of streaming.
Yeah, and of course, if you look at these two companies, they're number one and number three in terms of streaming with HBO and HBO Max against Netflix. This deal, by the way, still has some hurdles to cross, especially with the federal government, because this is big. Like I said, these are two of the top three streaming companies out there. And a lot of people are raising concerns that they think the company is going to be too big. I personally could care less what Hollywood thinks about it, but they're upset because you're going to be consolidating a lot of the movie makers under one umbrella, which is going to make things pretty difficult. We have, even in the chat box right now, Pierre Rodriguez says monopoly. Yeah, you bet. So there's still some things to clear. And so far, and the one of the co-CEOs of Netflix said that, we're not planning on merging the companies right now. That's down the road if we discuss it. But just on a side note, Coach, would you merge HBO's operations under Netflix in terms of, just making it all Netflix? Or do you keep that HBO brand? Because, it is a powerful brand.
No, I definitely keep the HBO brand. Anybody that's in their 50s or lower remembers HBO from the 80s as being the first major cable add on for your cable. So they definitely have name recognition. They're known as the cable channel that gets all the top movies, and now they're starting to move into sports. So when you see HBO, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's quality.
Yeah, I think they've got to find a way to keep that brand out there. But at the same time, hey, if Netflix takes over all the HBO library, that's certainly their call. But like I said, I think this is going to be okay for Tony because look, what's going to be fun is what does WWE say to them as this goes on? Because WWE just has a $5 billion deal with them. Are they going to be willing to say, hey, well, it's okay, you got AEW on your service too? That's all right. I don't know how happy they're going to be about that. And that could start some backroom brawls.
And also, the rumor was that Paramount was going to be the purchaser of the Warner Brothers package, and they invested a huge amount of money in getting the rights to UFC. And they are the odd man out in this scenario. Politically, the person that owns Paramount has strong ties to our president. So there are also rumors that it's going to get tied up in litigation, tied up in hearings. So this merger might come soon, but from the looks of it, it looks like it's going to take a little while for it to be approved.
Yeah, that is the other side of this too, is the Paramount is actually talking about launching a hostile takeover. They're ticked because they had offered more per share than Netflix did. And they feel like they should be the ones getting this deal. And apparently they want to do it by hook or by crook. So keep an eye on this. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch just from a business standpoint and with the companies, but then also how will this affect AEW? But I think a lot of people that were writing that tombstone for AEW after this, I don't know, man. I don't think Tony's going anywhere.
Yeah, no, I've learned to just let things play out, and usually the scenario that I come up with is nothing close to what has actually happened. So I try not to waste my mind space on trying to figure out different scenarios.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one to. I agree. I think it's going to be one to watch and play out. But just let's see. Let me get some comments on here. Some Hollywood unions and Paramount want AEW to stay in business. Duh, that's funny. Good job, too, man. Pierre Rodriguez, profit margins need to go up. Only reason for mergers and acquisitions. That's a good point. And he also said, people getting fired, the usual. Yeah, this is good. Oh man, this is going to be fascinating. It's going to be absolutely fascinating to see where this all turns out. So some big news on the media front. TNA is in a lot better position than they were a couple days ago. And Tony Khan's making is going to be Netflix and chilling for a little while. I'm sure the phone's ringing off the hook. All right, let's take a break. And when Coach Rosey and I come back, the last time is now. We know who it is. We knew who it was. But this is going to be an interesting night, not only because of that, but because Cody Rhodes has a special challenger that I can't believe they're doing it now. They're nuts. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas.
In love but on a budget, I'm Michael Minden. You need me and you need free. How about this? I'll give you a free, gorgeous 2-carat lab-grown diamond center stone when you buy any gold ring mounting. You can even trade in any unwanted golden jewelry you have towards that new gold ring mounting. Let me sweeten the deal. Come in this week, pick out something special for your sweetheart, drop down a deposit to hold it, and I'll hook you up with 2 tickets to the hot new Magician's Room experience, free. Jewelry and a date night? Heck yeah. Joy has a sound, and you're going to hear it when they open that Michael E. Minden gift. I may be new to you, but I've been the most trusted jeweler in town for 35 years, and I'll earn your trust. Come and see me in the Fashion Show Mall with free parking.
Michael E. Minden Diamond Jewelers, celebrate the moment.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Oh yeah, Mark Hoke is here. Kind of in the hurt bag. It's been a rough week for Hokamania. got a little sideline. Coach, my the car seat heater slow cooked me about a week and a half ago, and I had to have the area lanced and like on Dr. Pimple Popper this week. Wasn't good at all.
Doesn't sound fun. You couldn't even get together with me when I was in Las Vegas for the Amazon convention, so it must have been a busy week.
Dude, so bad. Plus, it's my daughter's birthday too. I managed to get through that. So happy birthday, Amanda. But yeah, not good. I'm not putting pictures up of that. I'm not. No.
Yeah, don't.
No, let's not do that. Well, one person who had a pretty decent week is Gunther. He will be the man to face John Cena at Saturday night's main event. Coming up on Saturday night, it is John's last match. He has been insistent, not getting back in the ring. This is over. So good for him. But, Coach, we had heard a long time ago that Gunther was going to win this tournament. Is he the right guy? Is he the right guy to finish this off with John Cena?
Yeah, I think so. He hasn't really had that WWE moment of moments to really put him over the top. I mean, people consider him a monster. People consider him the ring general. People consider him a man that's going to have a great match most of the time. But when you talk about Gunther, is there that WrestleMania moment? Is there that pay-per-view moment? This is a moment that is going to propel Gunther to levels that only Triple H's pencil can come up with. So he needed this. And if you take a look at the other people that were in the competition, there wasn't really much choice of someone that needed that push like Gunther did.
I'll give you one name that could have used it, though, and that is LA Knight, who lost in the finals to Gunther. And they had a great match, no doubt about it. LA Knight looked fantastic. But, boy, you just can't help but feel for our good friend from Las Vegas, Sean Ricker, who trained here partially at FSW, that it's that he's so close every time, but comes up short. And, Coach, the one thing that I would get concerned about is you can't continually keep booking somebody to get close and lose. And then, look, you can always write a storyline to pull him out of it, I guess. But it's got to be hard on him. I mean, he has been pushing and pushing and pushing and just can't seem to break through on the booking side of WWE.
Yeah, when people show you by their actions and their words, you have to believe them. They've been booking LA Knight like this for some time. And as much as this pains me to say, he's a glorified enhancement talent when it comes to the big matches, because you know that he's going to take that pin. And that's the narrative that WWE has penciled in for him. They've kind of done the same with Drew. And, it's unfortunate, but you kind of know what you're going to get with LA Knight.
Well, and you kind of put Drew in that category, but at least Drew's had some championship runs. LA Knight, won the U.S. title, but you just wonder with the people that are at the top and what seems to be the mentality of WWE, is he ever going to get a chance to be the world champion anytime soon? I don't see it coming for the next couple of years, at least.
I don't see it at all. He's going to be one of those guys in the trivia question that we're going to be asking years later about which is the most famous WWE superstar that's never won at all. And that LA Knight's going to fit that category. It's unfortunate, but sometimes you get, stereotyped as a certain type of talent, and he's battling through that right now. I mean, once we saw that it was him against Gunther, at least in my mind, I knew that there was 0% chance and that I could watch it on DVR because there wouldn't be a surprising win. Because with LA Knight, you know what you're going to get. Him looking up at the lights.
And I mean, what would you say is quote unquote quote wrong with LA Knight? Or is it just the people that are ahead of him? Is he does great promos. He's very good in the ring. He showed that against Gunther. You know, it's to be able to reasonably hang in the ring with him, you know, with all the violence and everything that Gunther just unleashes. And, you know, he had some great counters and maneuvers in that match. He looked very good. But what do you see that they could be holding LA Knight back for because of?
They're holding LA Knight back by themselves. I mean, they can easily put him into a main event storyline with him coming out on top, but they've just chosen that his ring skills are top notch, so he can get over anybody. His mic skills are top notch, so he can draw eyes to the match. But I don't think they think he has the bravado, the flair, the aura to be the man, to be the world champ. That takes a whole different style of bravado. And in their mind, they don't think LA Knight has it. And I agree with them. I couldn't get on board with an LA Knight World Championship run. It just it wouldn't do it for me.
Yeah. So we'll see what the future holds for him. But I thought he was one of the biggest losers of this tournament. Penta getting knocked out early, that didn't help him out. Apparently he's going to be back though from that shoulder injury he took in that match with Solo Sikoa. And by the way, Solo had a pretty good match with Gunther. And that was fun. I mean, Solo starting to once again show the charisma that he's got. You know, looked pretty good. You know, two big guys beating each other up in a big meat battle. That was a lot of fun. You know, so I think Solo may have caught a break there to get a chance to really show what he can do against Gunther. I thought that was a good opportunity for Solo.
Yeah, Solo's always had it. They just needed to cool his jets a little bit, get some more momentum coming back his way. But the whole storyline that he has with his family, it's not really going anywhere. They came out with the painted faces, and now they're just kind of coming back out. But he needs to dump them. And I would like to see Solo have a baby face turn, because I think people would get behind him and give him a chance to maybe have one of the lesser titles like the US or the Intercontinental.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. He really is. Another guy that I think people are wondering about a little bit after this tournament was over. The Miz and Tube Man 316 chat box says The Miz is going to complain about not getting John Cena's last match and unleash the Nexus. That's funny. You know, but in terms of The Miz, you know, he got a second chance to be in the tournament because of an injury. But boy, you just feel really bad that he never got an interaction with John after all the history that they had. So I don't know. Did The Miz win or lose in this whole thing?
I mean, he might have lost now in this modern era, but you know, we still have the memories of him and John Cena's battles. I mean, the WrestleMania match in Phoenix when he beat John Cena in the main event was tremendous. The Miz, his role right now is to put smiles on faces, to put butts in seats with his mic work, with his acting, not with his ring work. So they got the most out of him in these two matches. And, you know, his legacy is pretty well set in WWE. So he didn't need this opportunity. And who knows, he might have a run in John's last match. There could be a lot of little callbacks in that Saturday night main event match. And we'll have to see where it goes.
Yeah, I got a feeling there's going to be some crazy stuff going on in that match. But, Coach, who wins? Of course, it's a pro wrestling tradition that, you know, when you're retiring, you put your opponent over, no matter who you are. But I got to say that there's a lot of fan sentiment that John should win this thing and go out a winner. What would you do if you had the pencil on this and have full control, because I'm sure John's got a ton of say on whether he's going to win or lose this match, and John really does care about the business and wants to do the right thing. But is the right thing really losing to Gunther and giving Gunther the rub, or should we be allowed to have one more moment with John?
That's a tough one. Speaking as a fan, I'd like one more moment. But speaking for the health of the business, I don't think John needs a win. I think for us fans, it'd be cool to watch him go out, winning and beating the monster. The man that categorized hustle, loyalty, and respect, to go out on top would be great. But the only time that's really happened was Ric Flair's last match, and that's because it was Ric Flair. If you're that much of a lover of the business and you're into the history and the respect that's associated with professional wrestling, you do the right thing, and you go out on your sword and you put the next man over, and that next man is Gunther.
Yeah, and boy, I'll tell you, if that does happen, what a year for Gunther. He's going to have retired Goldberg and retired John Cena. That's promo gold for the next 5 years, at least. So we'll see how that turns out. But Saturday night's main event's going to be an interesting night too, Coach, because we not only have that match, but we got one that I cannot believe is happening. I can't. This is not a Saturday night's main event match. Obafemi wins the NXT championship at NXT Deadline last night, takes it back from Ricky Starks. And on SmackDown, they had told the guys, whoever wins this is going to get to wrestle Cody Rhodes on Saturday night's main event. So guess what? That massive debut on the main roster that I'm sure everybody was expecting from Obafemi now happens on Saturday night's main event in a match against Cody, which the odds are he's not going to win. Probably. What do you think about Obafemi coming on the main roster on this spot? And still he's the NXT champ, so he's not going to be up full time. Good idea, bad idea?
Well, I'm thinking of this as an NXT perspective. They only gave Ricky Starks 60 days with the title. He's the future of NXT right now. Obafemi, we've been talking about him going up to the main roster for months now. I don't like how they shotgunned this finish just to get this match set up for Saturday night's main event, especially when most likely Cody's going to go over. And what are you going to do to the steam of Omi, in WWE? If the first time he comes in, he takes an L. So from those two perspectives, I would much rather have seen Ricky win, go up against Cody, his best friend, and most likely lose there, but at least go back to NXT, the conquering warrior. You went to WWE, you had this great match against Cody, you came up a little bit short, but you represented NXT and you're our world champ, instead of having somebody kind of flip-flop between both products, and you won't get the full steam from them.
Yeah, I think this is a big mistake. Now, I guess it's going to depend how they book the match, but I agree with you. I think people would have really been talking a lot about Ricky Starks getting in there with Cody, and Ricky losing to his best pal, doesn't hurt him. But with Obafemi, you're trying to create an aura of indestructibility for the most part. Now, Ricky did beat him a little while ago, but when Oba comes, I really felt like when Oba hits the main roster and wrestles a big match, he should be out there just mauling people. It should be worse than what Gunther did. He should just be out there destroying everyone in his path for a good year. And you're going to put him up there and have him probably lose his debut match against a main roster guy? I just don't see it, Coach. I don't.
Yeah, I don't see it either. But what I do see is him losing, and then a contingency of people come down to the ring and they set up this new group. Maybe it's a New Day, maybe it's another group, but Omi needs someone to carry the mic for him. He's the muscle, he's the heat, and he needs a group around him that will make him successful in WWE. So that's my prediction. I think Cody will win, and then he'll get destroyed in the ring at the end of the match by whoever comes out.
Interesting thought. Yeah, we'll see what the turn is on this. But yeah, and I don't know. It's just so weird that they put the title on him, and I don't know. I'm my head's shaking on this one. We're also going to get Bailey and Sol Roca, and I'm sure we'll have another match or maybe another match on there for Saturday night's main event coming up. But that starts at 5 p.m. here Pacific time on Saturday, so it should be a terrific night. Tube Man 3016 here in the chat box is saying, I want to hear thank you, Nick Khan and Tony Fumble chants for the WWE crowd. What did Tony fumble? Somebody tell me, what did he fumble?
Well, he
Ricky
fumbled
Starks?
losing. Yeah, well, that and Cody and Jade and whoever else we're going to lose to. We're going to lose Anna Jay pretty soon. So I don't know about fumbled, but made business decisions that have helped one company prosper more than his.
Yeah, I think Jade left on her own. I felt like she was going to leave no matter what. Who knows what happened with Cody? We still don't know the story. Cody hasn't really explained why he left AEW. I mean, there were the booking mistake with Cody was, that he couldn't wrestle for the championship with Chris Jericho. But, and Ricky Starks, look, I love Ricky. But once again, I bring up the fact, is this a guy that for sure is someone that could be a world champion and be at that level? I mean, you're talking about a very charismatic guy, but he's not that big. I don't know. And so, I don't know if the top is the limit for Ricky. I mean, I have a feeling he's going to get up there and he's going to get LA United, coach.
Yeah, he might, but at least he'll fulfill his childhood dream of going to WWE.
Yeah, that is very true. So we'll see how that goes. But once again, Saturday night's main event coming up. And oh, by the way, we mentioned that guy, Chris Jericho. He is stirring the pot, if you will. He is getting people's attention. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more when we come back here on the Mark Hoke Show. Great matches going on in the Continental Classic and just a ton of stuff happening. So stick around, everybody. We'll be right back on the Mark Hoke Show. Coach Rosey as well. Hang on.
We're here with Chuck, founder of Dollar Loan Center. So what's the catch on this free week of interest?
If you're a new customer, the first week's interest is on us. It's free to apply and there's no other fees. So I guess the catch is you got to be a first-time customer. Think of it as a free trial. No matter how much you borrow, if you don't dig it, all you need to do is pay back the principal within a week, and that's it. No interest, no fees. It allows folks to see how much they can save, how much more we lend, and our flexibility for them to pay it back, even if you need up to a year.
Thanks, Chuck. DLC lends up to $5,000 in minutes, and you can get your cash in person at one of our 70 locations, on our website, don'tbebroke.com, or even over the phone with one of our helpful, real staff members. You're gonna love Dollar Loan Center.
At Audion Hearing, our
KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Oh man, I shouldn't be doing too much dancing. A hole in my back. It sucks, Coach. It's not good.
You'll make it.
Eventually, yeah. We're getting there.
It's a mindset. You just don't tell yourself you're in pain and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Or I could take one of the painkillers they gave me. That would be fantastic.
That always.
All right. Well, as we mentioned, Chris Jericho has put up a little post on his Insta or TikTok account that also went to his Instagram, where he's kind of throwing up the Y2J thing. Is he out of there? Is he headed for WWE for the retirement tour, Coach?
Yeah. I mean, that's a no-brainer. The way that he booked his cruise, the little hints that he's dropping, some of the comments that Tony Khan has made is all pointing towards a retirement and Hall of Fame tour that will blow the socks off of everybody with WWE.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Look, and I'll be honest with you, I don't blame Chris for wanting to finish it out in WWE if that's his choice. To be frank, the AEW fans treated him like crap the last year or so. They really did.
Yeah,
and
the learning tree was an interesting gimmick, to say the least, and didn't really catch on. So yeah, they were kind of ruthless with him, but he really wasn't put with the quality of guys that he's used to leading. I love Big Cass, but the other guy really didn't do much for me. Keith, he was
Brian Keith.
But he needs some top-notch guys around him to really propel any group that he's leading.
This will be a very interesting run for Chris Jericho in WWE. I'm sure we'll probably see him at the Rumble, but Jericho looks like he is on his way back to Stamford. So we'll see how that all turns out for him. AEW, the Continental Classic is rolling along. And Coach, I got to tell you, man, I like the way they're booking this. This has been some quality entertainment. Unfortunately, Darby Allin, and Coach, this is unbelievable. Look, we've all seen what Darby puts his body through. I mean, he has done some unbelievable things in the ring, but he gets hospitalized by a coast-to-coast dropkick that no one has said what exactly is wrong with him yet. But he, at least for the moment, isn't cleared to go, which could screw up the Continental Classic. And I can only imagine what Darby's thinking. I've interviewed the guy, and one thing that he prides himself on is his recovery from all the stuff that he does. Now, admittedly, you're planning that stuff. You don't plan to land wrong on a coast-to-coast dropkick. But man, this is the second guy that's gone down now recently with a coast-to-coast. Seth Rollins was a world champ and landed wrong on his shoulder. First, have you heard anything on Darby? And second, should maybe everybody take that coast-to-coast dropkick and throw it in the garbage can at this point? We can't have this.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard anything about Darby, which makes me think that it's a work because some of the things that he's survived is way worse than what he did have happened to him. And with the move, you just got to take a look at its worth compared to its risk. We've had two top stars go out with this injury. They banned the buckle bomb for some time when people were getting hurt until they could clean it up. So, is it necessary? No. I mean, it's glorifying to see visually because this guy's going from one corner to the next on a drop kick, but it's not a necessary move. There's other finishing moves that are a lot safer. And because once you're going at that speed and that momentum, there's not really any turning back.
No,
so it does make it a little bit more dangerous than the other ones.
Yeah, ask Shane McMahon about that.
Yeah.
You remember that when he took the spear from Roman Reigns mid coast to coast and knocked himself silly. I mean, like I said, it's a cool move, and thanks Shane McMahon for putting that in the repertoire. But I don't know, maybe it's time to say goodbye to that. But we had some very intriguing matches on AEW programming with the Continental Classic. Claudio beats Mox, and everybody's waiting for Claudio to turn on Moxley, but he had the match, and then everybody was back in the back doing push-ups. I mean, they are keeping their cool on this thing. But what a great win for Claudio, of course, coming off winning the CMLL World Championship and now beats Mox. What did you think about that, Coach?
Yeah, I think that it's going along with what they're going to pull off for Moxley at some point. But there have been a lot of upsets in this Continental Classic, but AEW is where the best come to wrestle. And this Continental Classic is a showcase of wrestling, and you're seeing some guys that might not be able to win in a one-match main event scenario, but when you put it in this 20-minute, nobody come out to the ring, and we're the best wrestle format, you might have some different results, like we saw with Kyle beating Okada. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with this title. I think AEW has been very predictable in their storyline writing and everything. So maybe they're trying to pull the swerve on us to try to get us to believe that there are going to be more surprises down the road.
Yeah, and even more surprising things happen on Collision, as all three of the Death Riders lost this late on Saturday, as Dorada came back and beat Claudio, which was just unreal. Yeah, that's correct. Actually, two of the Death Riders lost. Pac lost to Okada. Kyle Fletcher's now 2-0. He's kind of leading the way. But we still got Kevin Knight, who knocked off Darby Allin last week. I mean, this is going to be fun. And Tony, I think Tony's done a great job with this tournament. So we'll see where it goes. But Death Riders biting the dust all over the place, and I don't know. I mean, I'm liking it.
Me too.
All right. And also in AEW, the women's tag team final is set. That's going to be on Winter is Coming on Wednesday. So that's going to be a really fun night. And we're going to get ourselves some timeless love bombs as they knock off Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir. And on the other side, it is those two crazy kids, Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron, the babes of wrath. Coach, who's going to win this? I mean, we said this a while ago when this tournament first hit. This was almost any team's ball game. Who are you making the AEW Women's inaugural world champions?
I'm going to make it the babes of wrath. I think those two girls, Willow and Harley, they have the crowd behind them. I mean, you can say that Tony Storm does as well, but as a package, those two really have the interest of the fans. And Willow has been passed up, and she does not have that LA Knight persona about her continuing to take L's in championship opportunities. And Harley has used puppets, has used hardcore matches, has used anything to get herself over. So I think they're going to be rewarded for their hard work.
She looks great on a chair, by the way. I don't know if you saw that picture or not.
Yeah.
Wow. Javon Campbell in the chat box saying babes of wrath for the win when Stat Daddy takes out Luther and the shoe. Yeah, Luther showed up in that wild match that they had for the semifinals. But I don't know, Coach. I think the bombs are going over. I think Tony and Mina were put together for a reason, and I think they're probably going to be leading the way. I have one slight complaint about this tournament, though, is that you have two babyface teams going at it, and maybe something will happen here, but I really wanted to see whoever won getting in a serious feud with whoever lost. And given that combination, I don't think that's going to happen. So we'll see where the booking turns. But yeah, I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to take the timeless love bombs to win the championships. Yeah, should be. But it's been a great tournament, and one thing that I think is starting to show through, on both sides, because actually the WWE tag team scene is heated up all of a sudden. They've got five or six legitimate teams over there, and you have a lot of women in AEW. This roster is so deep now, and Tony's got to be happy where it's at. And to wrap it up, we have a new Ring of Honor TV champion as Red Velvet beats Mercedes Moné. We're down to 12 belts. It's fallen. The fall begins. What do you think, Coach? Are we soon going to see Mercedes going cray?
Yeah, and I can't wait. Like I told you a couple weeks ago, when she has her mighty fall, it's going to be can't miss television, because she plays a tremendous crazy person, and
yes,
she will be going crazy, because even her losing, no offense to Red Velvet, your work has been tremendous in AEW, but for her to get beat by Red Velvet is the precursor to what's in store for the future of Mercedes Moné.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Coach, I know you got to get rolling. Give us a little lineup on ad-free shows. What's going on, brother?
We got Top Guy Rumble coming up at the end of January, so stay tuned to all platforms to see where that will be located and see what type of events that are going to be planned for that weekend. But from what I hear, it's going to be one heck of a weekend.
Sounds good. Well, thanks for stopping by. I certainly appreciate it, Coach. We'll see you next week, my friend.
Thank you. See you later.
All right. And that's going to do for hour number 1 of the Mark Hoke Show. We've still got a lot more to come. We're going to take another look at all these TV deals and a whole lot more in the world of pro wrestling. Man, it was just a jam-packed week. We had Death Before Dishonor too, and John Cena and the boys are getting sued. What? Oh, unreal. Guys, we'll see you on the other side. Follow us at Mark Hoke Show on X and Facebook and YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and come join us for hour 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Ready to hit the road in a new ride? One Nevada Credit Union believes your life should be rewarded. With a new or refinanced auto loan, One Nevada will let you skip payments for 90 days. You really can drive now and pay later. At One Nevada, we offer freedom from payment stress and more money in your pocket, so you spend less time worrying about financing and more time enjoying the drive. Our one focus is you. Check out the benefits of a One Nevada auto loan today at onenevada.org. Federally insured by NCUA, equal opportunity lender.
Welcome to Yoga for Beginners, where we say yes to less stress and no to auto loan payments.
What? Say yes to less stress with One Nevada Credit Union's 90-day no pay. Finance your new or used car with us, or move your current auto loan and don't make any payments for 90 days. That could be close to $4,000 in your pocket. Say no to payments and yes to less stress with One Nevada Credit Union's 90-day no pay auto loans. Visit onenevada.org today. Federally insured by NCUA.
Thinking about selling your house but hesitant to move during the holidays? Imagine finalizing your sale now, enjoying the holidays, and moving later. Call Wedgwood Homes to discuss your options and get a competitive all-cash offer. Do you want to down
Get your daily dose of news with a Fox News Rundown. A contrast of perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. Going far beyond the headlines. Tomorrow morning at 5 on 101.5 FM KDAWN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Mashing buttons here in the KDAWN studios. That's what I do. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us here on 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. It is the Mark Hoke Show, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. You got me the rest of the way for hour number 2. Hey, we would love to have you join in and interact with the show. If you want to hop in on X at Mark Hoke Show, or YouTube and Facebook at the Mark Hoke Show. I'd love to hear your opinions. Say hi. Tell me I'm full of crap. Hey, whatever you want to do. Well, don't say that. I try to be right, but it happens. We're very happy to have you joining us as we break down all the goings on in pro wrestling. And we want to take a second to go back to what we led off the show with, because these are just a couple of huge stories. And with new media rights being signed and all sorts of crazy stuff going on out there that's happening in pro wrestling, I just wanted to kind of take a second. If you didn't get hour number 1, well, hour number 2, we're going to talk about what's going on here with TNA and this new Netflix WB merger. So once again, if you missed it, first, TNA has signed a contract. They are doing a 2-year deal with AMC. So TNA on January 15th, that Thursday Night Impact is going to be rolling at you, and they are off Access and now on AMC. And that, it's a very interesting move for Anthem. Of course, they owned Access, but just did not have anywhere near the reach that AMC is going to have. A total victory for TNA. They haven't had a contract this good, like I said, since probably the Spike days. So this is going to be exciting for TNA to have a chance to get back out there and, everybody just be able to watch that show. It's still going to be available on their streaming platforms, TNA Plus, but, and it'll also be out on AMC's streaming platform as well. But a big congratulations to TNA for reaching that goal that they have been trying so hard to get for so long. We also, of course, are dealing with what's going to be the fallout for AEW. And, WWE is going to be involved in this thing too, I'm sure. But Warner Brothers has been purchased, at least for now, by Netflix. Netflix is the home of Monday Night Raw. WWE got $5 billion on that deal. 5-year deal on that. But of course, AEW is on HBO Max, and HBO Max are part of this deal. So will WWE be okay with Netflix having AEW programming? Because it's gonna happen. Unless they negotiate something to buy them out, that's Tony gets to be on Netflix, whether he likes it or not. And I'm sure he's got to be thrilled to death about this, that they're going to be in that partnership. Because look, let's be honest. Do you really think, as much as that brand, and personally, I think they should find a way to keep the brand of HBO. It's a huge brand. But from a business standpoint, is that a good idea? Just roll it up, man. Take that library and off you go. And they'll have the entire HBO library plus so much more. I mean, it is a potential monopolistic situation. It's going to be them and Disney. Oh God, the Obamas and all their crap. And there's some bad stuff on Netflix, guys. If you haven't been paying attention, just some piles of tripe out there. But we got to do it, and then we got to deal with Disney and their wokey woke. Oh, it's not good. But federal regulators are going to have to give this deal their blessing, and there's rumors they might not. And Paramount has also put their hat into the ring. They were bidding for this. They were one of the final two, and Paramount had actually put more money down, but they were also trying to buy everything. So Netflix decides to, Warner Brothers decides to go with the Netflix deal. God, that's going to be so crazy, guys. Warner Brothers, essentially no more. Wow. Man, they've been around for a long, long time. And HBO, 50 plus years. Company started in 1972 before, and obviously it took a few years before it became that mainstream movie streaming channel on cable that we all got excited about. But it will be very entertaining to see how Tony Khan handles this, because obviously he doesn't want to lose his streaming partner. But quite frankly, Tony can go straight to Amazon and he'll be just fine. So I don't know. I'm curious to once again hear everybody's thoughts in that chat box if you want to hop in there. But the possibility this deal gets voided, I mean, it's there. It's there. One article that I have, a former government official with the knowledge of the Trump administration's thinking said Netflix has been running around Washington trying to convince everyone that their deal is fine from an antitrust standpoint. No one is buying what they're saying, either at senior levels of the White House or DOJ antitrust. Yeah, and it would certainly put Netflix in a massive position on the market. I mean, we literally would be down to Netflix and Disney. That's not good. It's not good. Maybe Paramount comes out of this. They're even talking about the possibility of a hostile takeover, because they want this bad, and I don't blame them. No, one of the major competitors in the movie industry, and movie industry is going to be heavily affected by this, because if WB ends up in the hands of Netflix, boy, you are taking a lot of the movie companies that are out there that produce movies, and they're under one roof. That may not be good for you guys that like to go to the theaters. Streaming, yeah, piece of cake. But the other problem is that when one gets too big, they're going to be able to just take that wallet and just twist it and turn it and get every dime they can. Now, just like ESPN's been trying to do with this WWE thing. And I found it kind of funny, even though the WWE tried to kind of take this little comment and bury it, that Freddie Prinze Jr., of course, who's done work with WWE and, as a writer and some other things, came out and said that ESPN is incredibly so unhappy, is the quote, with the WWE deal. And so that deal, by the way, was a 5-year deal, $1.6 billion for WWE's pay-per-view rights in the United States. And they only got about 100 and some thousand subscriptions for when WrestlePalooza hit. Now, you do the math, okay? 1.6 billion, and at $30 a shot, I'm only getting about 120,000 extra subscribers right off the bat. I don't know. I mean, why would you be happy with that? They're freaking out because, Prince said, ESPN, by the way, so unhappy with the deal. I was talking to a friend of mine who works for Disney, and he was just like, yo, they better make money back on this deal. They're hot. And he's right. Look, all you got to do is do some simple math and realize that this may be the Stanford screw job on this one, kids. Bristol, Connecticut, taking a hit. So we'll see how that goes. But it is an incredibly fascinating time, as and really when you think about it, we all had cable TV, and now all these streaming services are up. There's a million of them out there, and just how fast the television industry changed. I mean, just crazy. And now it is flipped over into pro wrestling, with WWE deciding to head over to Netflix with Monday Night Raw. And hopefully Tony's going to pull that deal off with Fox. And I would say this, I think that Tony had better get that deal done. He needs to have that quick. That Fox property is one of the few safe havens that he has from wherever WWE's got their fingers stuck in. They're on the CW. They're in with NBC Universal because of USA. They're at Paramount. With TKO's at Paramount with USC. So clearly, that's kind of a blocked road. I mean, Disney, they're doing stuff with Disney, so that's ABC. Now, CBS isn't a safe haven anymore because they're owned by Paramount. So this is going to be a tricky little thing for Tony. But like I said, in the short term, win. Guess what? HBO is part of Netflix. You're streaming on HBO. You backdoored them. Way to go, Tony. Congrats. Big win. Big win. But brace yourselves, guys, because I'm going to tell you, this shuffling is going to continue for a lot longer. And just wait till MLW's got that. They got that money together. Better watch out for those guys. Better watch out. So wild stuff happening on the TV and streaming fronts for, every major pro wrestling organization. But once again, congrats to the guys at TNA. Well-deserved, worked your butts off for it. And they are going to be very happy, I think, being on a mainstream channel like that. So good job. All right, we're going to step back and take a break. And when we return, oh, man, are you serious? John Cena getting sued. We've got a former AEW coach saying that, oh, my God, things are corrupt at AEW. Bailey's ticked off. Oh, man. And by the way, Priscilla Kelly, formerly Gigi Dolan, she's doing bad things. We're going to talk about that and a lot more when we return on the Mark Hoke Show. We'll be right back.
Hey, Dan, that spaceship-wide lunch meeting at noon, please say it's not more astronaut ice cream and powdered orange drink.
Negatory. Ground control hooked us up with EasyCater, so now we can order from a galaxy of restaurants with tools to stay on budget and meet our dietary needs.
Thank heavens. My dairy tolerance and anti-gravity is not great.
And with EasyCater, it's all on one simple platform, so we can focus on space stuff, like that asteroid. So how about tacos? Hold the cheese.
EasyCater, a stellar way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
This is the time of the year most of us are checking off our holiday gift list. Identity thieves have lists too, and your personal information might be on that list. Protect your identity with LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every single second and alerts you to the threats you could miss yourself. If your identity is stolen, your own U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to work to fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Make this season about joy, not identity theft, with LifeLock. Save up to 40% off your first year at LifeLock.com with the promo code BECK. Terms apply.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products or compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
The guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, president of Leaf Filter, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Yeah, bring it. The best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here on KDAWN 1015 FM. The talk of Las Vegas. The news just continues to roll out and roll out. And guess what? This only took, 25 years or so. WWE and John Cena, now with the Last Time Is Now tournament. Guess what? Somebody decided to hop on the bandwagon and sue. That's right. John Cena and WWE are being sued. As reported in Billboard magazine, the daughter of Pete Schofield, who's recording the night the lights went out in Georgia from 1974, which was the original source of the horns used at the start of Cena's track when it was made in 2005. Well, they are saying that WWE and Cena failed to properly clear the sample and breached a $50,000 settlement. Schoenfeld said every effort at informal resolution has been met with threats, misrepresentations, and intimidation tactics, leaving plaintiff with no recourse but to seek relief from the court. Claims that the family was unaware of the use of the horns until 2015, before signing a 2017 settlement with WWE to cover the use of the sample. The lawsuit says that she claims the family have now realized they own the publishing rights to the song too, separate from the original. So after all this time, we waited another 8 years on top of the settlement. But this woman is going after John Cena and WWE. And you know what I would do? You know what I would do if I were a judge? Give it a little hit the road, Jack. There's some horns in that, too. So stupid. Come on. You know what? WWE will probably just write her a little check to get her to go away. But what a lame time to do this, too. Oh, just happened to be close to John Cena's last match. It was a coincidence. Come on. Oh, we realized we had the publishing rights too, so we're going to sing it. I hope that the judge throws this out. What a pile of crap. But we will be seeing John Cena's final match coming up here in just a little bit. Saturday night's main event. It'll be on Peacock, which, by the way, all the WWE content is going to be off there by the end of the year, apparently. Boy, Peacock just got left behind like a sad little bird sitting in a nest. But it will be John Cena and Gunther hooking it up. I don't know what's going to happen in this match. Will it be ridiculously overproduced? In all probability, yes. But we've also got a championship match coming up there on Saturday night as well, as it's going to be Cody Rhodes and is the undisputed WWE champion, taking on Obafemi, who won the NXT title last night from Ricky Starks. So Obafemi gets to make his main roster debut on Saturday night's main event against Cody. Hate the idea. Said last hour. Hate the idea. Man, why you got to just throw him out there? I don't know. It says champion versus champion match, so I don't think the titles are going to be on the line. Maybe that gives them the out for Oba to win this. But, man, O'Day. And, of course, we had Braun Breaker cutting an unbelievable promo against CM Punk. And it is apparently leaked that Breaker is the favorite to win the Royal Rumble. And boy, Braun laid into CM Punk, by the way. And just after his dog died, too. Yeah, that's right. Rest in peace, Larry. Feel bad for Punk. I know you love that dog. Larry was even the center of a story back in AEW with the whole brawl out thing. But the odds are up, by the way, for the Royal Rumble on betonline.ag. And by the way, if you go to markhokeshow.com, you can click on that banner, and then when you get to betonline.ag, put in the code BOL1000. You're going to get a 50% matching bonus up to $1,000. So if you put in 1,000, you can get 500. And you can go bet on the football games right now too, and just about anything. They've got cricket, they got volleyball, politics, anything you want to bet on, you can fire away. So make sure you check that out. Go to markhokeshow.com and click on the betonline.ag banner. But here's where we're at. And there's some serious ones and not so much, but Breaker is the favorite on the betting lines, but it's close. Braun Breaker is a plus 140, so that means if you bet 100, you'd win 140. Roman Reigns plus 200 is second, followed by Sami Zayn at plus 500. Then we start getting into some big numbers. Seth Rollins at 1,100. Randy Orton is next at plus 1,400. Gunther, 1,400. Jey Uso, 1,400. Obafemi is now gone on the board at plus 1,800. Dirty Dom at 1,800. LA Knight plus 2,000. Solo Sikoa plus 2,500. As is Kevin Owens. So Kevin Owens, and he's trying to get back. Drew McIntyre plus 2,500. Brock Lesnar at 28. As is Damian Priest, Bronson Reed. And then we start getting this one. The Rock is in there. Plus 3,300 if you want to burn some money up. Who else we got in there that's kind of off? Like Dragon Lee. Plus 6,600. They got it says Jimmy. I don't know. What little Jimmy? Jimmy, probably Jimmy Uso, I guess. Miz plus 7,500. So at least for the most part this time around, I mean, they love throwing in guys like Steve Austin and so on. Rock is the only inactive one. And fortunately, they do not have John Cena on the list. But is Braun Breaker the guy? I'll be honest with you. I think so. But we are hearing rumors of Roman and Cody 3. I don't know how the fans would react to Roman winning the Royal Rumble. That would be fascinating. Because you just kind of have the feel out there that people want to see some new blood. And WWE is really going to need somebody to lead the way after this whole thing with John Cena is over. I mean, a lot of the attention has gone on him. He's been the one that's been drawing. They had to lower ticket prices at some TV events. Of course, John Cena for his last match, he gets 60,000 in the queue in a 20,000 person arena. So this will be a tricky choice for WWE. Sami Zayn just took a loss. I think a lot of people thought, it's going to be Sami's time this year. And I just, no. And I really have enjoyed Sami over the years. He and Kevin Owens, as Kevin Steen and course, Sammy is El Generico. Man, they have put on some shows. Sammy had that massive head of steam headed into WrestleMania 2 years ago. And beats Gunther, ends his Intercontinental title reign. But we were talking about LA Knight in the last half hour or last hour, that some people feel like he's not quite world championship material. And look, I don't know if you had your chance with Sammy. You had booked him to the point in the whole bloodline situation where people wanted him to become the world champion. Massive, massive push behind him. Didn't pull the trigger. Now where is he? And I read some interesting comments like, you can't have a WWE champion looks like a homeless bum. It's like, okay. I can see that. No. And to be very frank, Sammy's Palestine comments, he's not as bulletproof as CM Punk. And Sammy has been much more vocal about that. Punk has occasionally put some stuff up on his social media. But I don't know if I could see it right now. You're going to have to rebuild him all over. The guy that I would love to see come back and pull this off would be Kevin Owens. How much fun would that be with Cody and a ticked off Kevin Owens after everything that happened between those two? Woo! Oh, man. Just feed me that all day long and twice on Sunday. Just give me a buffet of Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. I'm all right. But, of course, we're going to have to wait and see how the whole world championship picture sorts out. I mean, there is a long way to go before WrestleMania. Does Punk hang on? I would think so. I think you want to give him at least day one headlines. But that's going to be wild. So the Royal Rumble picks are starting to get up there. By the way, on the women's side, in case you're curious, and let me grab those for you real fast. Women's picks right now, even though she's hurt and we're waiting for her to get back from that hand injury, Bianca Belair is currently the betonline.ag betting favorite at plus 135. Liv Morgan plus 200, and I think she's it. I mean, that promo that she cut this week with the Judgment Day just coming back and taking charge after she had gotten involved in that match with John Cena and Dirty Dom. Liv plus 200. I think she's the favorite to do it. Rhea Ripley is plus 300, and then you take the big jump. Charlotte Flair plus 1,000. Lyra Valkyria 1,200. Io Sky 1,400. Tiffany Stratton 2,000. Jade Cargill is a plus 2,000. She's a world champ. I don't know. I don't think they're going to put her in the match. Nia Jax plus 2,200. Chelsea Green, the U.S. champ, 2,200. AJ Lee also 2,200. Asuka 2,500. Julia is at 20. That could be a juicy little $10 bet to throw down, guys, just for fun. Julia, you took the U.S. title offer. Well, what are you going to do with her? Boy, would that be a stunner. Whew. Thought Jey Uso's surprise last year was enough. Julia coming out of nowhere to win the Royal Rumble would be quite entertaining. Bayley's 2,500. Stephanie Vaquera 2,500. Alexa Bliss 3,300. Yeah, they got Trish Stratus in there. Oh, brother, 4,000. They have Blake Monroe on there from NXT, of course, the former Mariah May. Any other goofy ones in there? Nikki Bella. Hey, Nikki Bella's a plus 10,000. There's no way in hell she's winning the Royal Rumble. And that's what they're saying right there. They have Roxanne Perez at plus 6,600. It's a little harsh. But I guess she's behind two other women in her own stable to win that thing. So what are you going to do? But yeah, Bianca Belair, the favorite. It depends obviously how healthy that hand is, if she can make it back in time. But I think Liv Morgan's your bet. Really do. We're going to see the aforementioned Bayley on Saturday night's main event. She's taking on Sol Roca. But Bailey made some headlines this week. I think Bailey is so over WWE. She is so frustrated right now. Like, what happened to the split personality crazy stuff she was doing? What happened? Where'd it go? Guess she got some drugs. She's doing okay now. Got the voices under control. But Bailey came out this week, and she is not happy with how the women in the WWE locker room are conducting themselves. And she's ticked. And she's very upset because a lot of the women aren't sticking around for the entire show and watching matches. That this is a trend that's happening in WWE. Bear with me for 1 second. So, of course, Bailey's one of the locker room leaders, and everybody loves Bailey. But she is absolutely in shock right now. She did an interview on the 6 Feet Under podcast with The Undertaker and Michelle McCool. And she said, yeah, it just blows my mind. When I first got on the road, all the live events you always watched. Cena watched everything. Roman watched everything. The last few years, Seth is always at that front monitor. So if you're at the live events, if you came through the curtain, there's that monitor right there. When people came back, they asked Seth, oh, what did you think? And then I can hear what he's saying to them. And then I'm learning too. But then lately there's some people who just leave. Then Seth comes back from the main event and nobody's there. That is like, what? You just ask people for his advice and nobody's here? That drives me crazy. Or some people aren't on the show. They just take off. I have this conversation with some people and I just don't get what they're thinking. I don't know what's missing. And I got to tell you, that is, as somebody who coached, and I also, play a lot of sports too. And man, you, if you're doing things right, you're absorbing everything possible. You want to get that feedback from stuff that you're doing, and you want to watch what people who are better than you at the job and get their advice on what's happening. And maybe that's part of the reason we got WWE so is kind of right now. Yeah, that's why we're seeing botches and dumb stuff that we normally wouldn't see. I think part of it is that everybody's not getting reps. It used to be, and much as it sucked having to do 200 plus dates a year and wrestling that many matches, you got good at your job. You learned how maybe to pull back a little bit. You learn how to speed it up. You see people do different things and, psychologically and then you wonder why, if you're not paying attention to the people who really know what they're doing, you wonder why the products suffer a little bit. Because look, WWE, and I hate to say it, but man, it's getting pretty cookie cutter out there. Part of the reason you enjoy AEW is because, maybe you don't like everything that they do, but they're working outside the box. And they are doing everything they can to get people reps, but they're kind of the same spot too. It's not not like the industry used to be where you would get hundreds of matches in every year. So by the time you were maybe 30 years old, you're good to go, man. But yeah, that's pretty wild. So good for Bailey for watching out for everything. But it just kind of adds to the narrative for her with me that she should go to AEW. She really should. Her best friend's there, Mercedes. I think she'd be happier. But that's up to Bailey. Pretty interesting comments from her. And real quick, just to run down, we had Death Before Dishonor this week. And Mercedes Moné loses the Ring of Honor World TV Championship. She drops her first belt of those 13 that she had. So the collapse is about to begin. But some pretty big matches. Let me just, I don't think there weren't any title changes. Lee Moore already held on to the Pure Rules Championship. QT Marshall and Paul Walterhauser hooked it up. That's right. Stingray. If you watched the Cobra Kai series, you know what I'm talking about there. But QT Marshall wins a fight without honor. Sammy Guevara and Rush beat the Outrunners. And so somehow, this is a phenomenon you may never see again, that Sammy Guevara has won 3 consecutive Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship, or been on 3 consecutive Ring of Honor World Championship tag teams. Had an injury, then bailed on a partner. Now he and Roosh are your new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. That's funny. Come on, give me the Outrunners. Oh, man. Turbo, Floyd, Truth Magnum, man, they're fun. And throwback to the 80s. Bandito held off Hechicero to defend the Ring of Honor World Championship. And Athena took on Mina Shirakawa for the Women's World Championship. And Athena continues her reign. Good Lord. She's never going to lose that title. Ever. I mean, she has really become the anchor. One of the anchors. And maybe she is the one for Ring of Honor right now. You know, Bandito's probably going to be world champ down there for a long time. But, I mean, Athena's just held this title forever. So, and by the way, you also have new 6-man tag team champions down there. Shane Taylor Promotions. Knock off the Sons of Texas. Oh, my. Levon Eriks and Sammy Guevara fall to Shane Taylor, Carly Bravo, and Captain Sean Dean. They are the new 6-man tag champs. So congratulations to our new champions and to another great night for Ring of Honor. All right, let's take a break. Oh, we got a grumpy coming out of AEW. Yikers. That's not good. So a whole lot more coming up here. And by the way, winter is coming. We'll talk about that. And not that winter. We know about that winter. We'll talk about winter is coming on Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Are you shopping for a diamond? Are you searching for the perfect symbol of your love? You need me. I'm Michael Minden. We're the factory source for natural diamonds and now lab-grown diamonds. Imagine your happy feeling finding exactly what you want, being treated with kindness, and getting the very best price. The most affordable jeweler and the most trusted jeweler is Michael E. Minden. Make her say wow and have the best holiday ever.
The key to unlock the next breakthrough in cancer research could be sitting in your driveway. Stand Up to Cancer's vehicle donation program makes it easy to turn your unwanted vehicle into funding to support innovative cancer research. So when you're looking to get rid of your old car, truck, motorcycle, RV, or boat, why not donate it to Stand Up to Cancer? You can be a driving force in cancer research. Donate your car today. Visit standuptocancer.org/cars to learn more.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
All right, let's wrap this thing up. The best pro wrestling news and entertainment on the Mark Hoke Show. Oh, man, we are so close to saying goodbye to John Cena. Wow. Saturday night. Tune into Peacock. Probably if you're a wrestling fan, won't be tuning into Peacock for long because they're pulling all the content off there from WWE. But, man, it's going to be hard saying goodbye to John. That's for sure. Well, AEW got some drama as former coach, and she's produced for WWE and AEW. Sarah Stock came out online, and well, let's just say she wasn't real happy about the culture at AEW. So she decided to take shots at the HR department and all sorts of crazy things. But this was a rant. Corruption and negligence are running unchecked at AEW. There's so much more than this. Receipts are coming. Oh, God. Anyone who doesn't want to listen, stop listening. I don't care. In the meantime, talent and company safety continues to be put at risk to line the pockets of Kasha and Manzioni. Of all the departments to eliminate, and she was referring to the HR department. They're changing it. Just wow. And renamed human resources to people and culture. Now that I'll agree with her. That's stupid. That's really stupid. But man, she got into, I'd like some clarification, please. The real Manzo, how many health related issues are AEW wrestlers put in before they start getting charged? Apparently that they've decided, instead of keeping people physically on staff, that they're doing live stream appointments, telehealth appointments. And just, wow, she lost it, man. Woo! She can check it out. I mean, geez, covered everything. Mexican wrestlers travel. I mean, just destroyed AEW. But you know what? Someone leaves a company. Yeah, I don't know. I might have some, might be angry. You know what? And maybe if she needs therapy, she'll talk to our good friend Pat Casal at the Multicare Group. And I got to throw this out here real quick because open enrollment is closing. And Pat's going to take great care of you with your health insurance, dental insurance. He can get life insurance. He's got it all covered. 30 years here in Las Vegas. 702-286-1014 is the number. 702-286-1014. That is Pat Casal at the Multicare Group. And like, if you're a wrestler or you're an independent contractor or your job doesn't offer benefits, Pat's going to take great care of you, but you're running out of time. So once again, give him a call, 702-286-1014 before the open enrollment period closes. All right. So you guys in AEW, if you're not happy with your telehealth, call Pat. All right. So that was one hell of a rant that she went off on. Just not good. But one thing that is good is winter is coming. We get that great annual card. You know, Sting used to be part of that, and maybe he'll show up again. Who knows? But here's what we got that's going to air live on the 10th, and then more winter is coming on December 13th on Collision. Samoa Joe defends the AEW World Championship against Eddie Kingston. Would I say that Eddie is going to win this match? No. Will it be fun? Yeah. So Joe and Kingston are going to get in a battle there. We will have the finals of the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship. The Babes of Wrath, Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron, who Coach Rosey thought would win this match. I'm taking their opposition, the Timeless Love Bombs, Timeless Tony Storm, and Mina Shirakawa. So we will have our inaugural AEW Women's Tag Team Tournament. And it's a great tournament. A lot of terrific teams in there. And I'm sure there's going to be more to come. So get ready for that one. And we got they're saying one time only. Never happen again. Yeah, that's what happens in pro wrestling. Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland are going to be teaming up to take on the Ops. Samoa Joe's guys, Shibata and Powerhouse Hobbs. So somebody on that team's going to eat a fall. Probably. Well, you never know. Tony will throw a curveball out there. Maybe Hangman and Swerve will decide they want to kill each other again. Burn some childhood houses down. I mean, Swerve owes him one on that. Man, destroying real estate, that's over the line. But yeah, we'll get to see Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland teaming up on Dynamite this week. The Collision side on Saturday, Mark Briscoe defends the TNT Championship against Daniel Garcia. Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter will meet the Sisters of Sin. And then we get more Swerve Strickland as he takes on Josh Alexander. And I'll tell you what, I am waiting for Josh Alexander to get that big push. He has been wrestling so well. And he is one of the best wrestlers on the planet. There's no question about it. He's just kind of buried in the Don Callis family. But we'll see Swerve and Josh Alexander. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So tune into those shows this week. And then you'll also get, you have Raw and SmackDown for WWE. But Saturday night's main event, John Cena says goodbye. And it's going to be, still can't get over it. That's going to be one hell of a night. But yeah, so corruption in AEW. CM Punk made a little news. Other than, once again, condolences to him losing his longtime pet little dog, Larry, who, of course, bit Kenny Omega. And Kenny rescued him from the all-out brawl. And Punk paid tribute to him in Survivor Series. But Larry is no more. So sorry to hear that for Phil and AJ. It just, kind of sucks. But there was another story that came out about Punk, and this was pretty funny. That Punk was actually told before he went out to the ring one night in WWE that he wanted to pay homage to Randy Savage and, wear a classic pair of gear, the pink ones with the stars. You remember that legendary outfit by Savage. And he commissioned his gear maker to make the gear, but he said, I won't name names, but someone very high up in the office walked past and saw it and found me and said, do not wear that gear on television. And I said, gives a thumbs up. You got it. And I wore the gear on television because that's what I do. I'm going to pay homage to Randy Savage, whether you like it or not. Ow. Why would you? What's the big deal? Who went up to him and said, you can't, Randy Savage, he was a little bit of a jerk when he left. So don't wear his gear. This is a grudge from the 1990s. Don't wear the Savage gear. Come on. WWE they've got to lighten up on some stuff a little bit. So good on Phil. I'll give him that. Thumbs up for me, Phil. You wear that Savage gear. We all love it when you do it. So nice stand up there from CM Punk. Oh God. And this story. Oh, well, I'm going to do this one. Apparently WWE is going to be letting Natalya says Natty's dead, or Natalya's dead. Natty. Of course, the low-key legend who's been out there on Bloodsport, and she also used the persona on AAA card. But she is wanting to be the butt-kicking babe. You saw her on the promo video working with new Intercontinental Champion Maxine Dupree at the Heart Dungeon. And Natty has pretty much laid it down that she is using this. Natalya's gone. Natty is here. World champ. Just let her tear everybody apart. Please. Give Natty a good run. You owe her for the farting thing. That whole Vince McMahon idea that she's always gassy. You owe her. Get Natty in there and let her beat some people up. I think that would be pretty cool. One person that I wish she beat up is the guys that keep bringing comedians to WWE. There was a rumor that Tony Hinchcliffe was offered a writing job. Whether that's true or not, who knows? But Andrew Schulz is, and look, I'm going to say this. I love Andrew Schulz comedy. I think he's funny as hell. But apparently they want to have Andrew Schulz get more involved in WWE. Oh, no. God, I tell you what, just turn it into celebrity wrestling. Remember the Hulk Hogan show where Todd Bridges won? They were taking celebrities and making them wrestlers. Just, if that's what you want to do, then do it. Just do it. Triple H, pull the trigger. Nick Khan, pull the trigger. You know, Nick's saying out there, oh, yeah, we're going to replace one of the big four sports soon. Oh, okay. Maybe he will. I don't know. But for the love of God, can you stop shoving the celebrities down our throats, please? Please. Let's see. Drop kick for the top rope from Andrew Schulz. Shut up. Vintage Andrew Schulz. Oh, God. It's just making me cringe already. And that, by the way, is going to do it for us here on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. We're thrilled to have you with us. It is Best in Pro Wrestling. And if you want to follow the show, we would certainly appreciate it. If you could take a second, head over to Facebook, click on the Mark Hoke Show, go to YouTube and subscribe at the Mark Hoke Show. And we are also on X at Mark Hoke Show. So join the Mark Hoke Show family. Come on, we're all friends here. We'll be saying goodbye to John Cena together, and we want to wish John all the best and hopefully what's going to be a great night on Saturday night's main event. The man deserves it. Has done so much for the industry. God bless you, Johnny. We'll see you down the road. And that's going to do it. We'll see you later, everybody. Have a great day, Las Vegas. And we'll catch you next time on the Mark Hoke Show here Sunday, 8 to 10 on KDAWN.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.